Hey guys, my name is Matt Goldsman from GamersCast, and here's my review of Sleeping Dogs. On the surface, Sleeping Dogs just appears to be another Grand Theft Auto ripoff, and that may be why it hasn't gotten as much attention as it deserves, why Activision pulled the plug on it a year ago, and the easiest way to describe it in a few words. But thank God for the folks at Square Enix who saw it as so much more and decided to take a chance with it. Yes, the comparisons are there, and it is very easy to merely call Sleeping Dogs just another GTA ripoff. But if we're going on those terms, then you can call this the best damn GTA ripoff I've ever played.
That is exactly what we want people to think.
The story is simple. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop trying to fit the role of one of the triad groups in Hong Kong. But to keep his cover, you get to break all the rules the normal cops follow. So killing, theft, and of course traffic violations are all fair game. The game looks good enough on console, but on PC there's a free optional high-res texture pack available for download, which sets the bar way higher than the game's console brethren, and gives the city a whole new sort of life, allowing everything to pop and look nice and sharp. The cutscenes are very well done, and the voice acting for the most part is pretty top-notch. Of course, it always comes down to the gameplay, and here we have a mixed bag. The combat system is great and very fluid. You can pull together combos, counter, and grapple with opponents in a very clean, well laid out system. Grappling is particularly satisfying as you can interact with objects in your environment to cause even more damage, some of which are incredibly satisfying. As time goes on, you can attend a kung fu school and learn even more techniques and combos for your arsenal. Even further down the line, you'll encounter melee weapons in combat, which will work well with the already existing combos. Guns are somewhat of a rarity in this game, but once they do come into play, gunplay is very clean and well implemented, but with no aim assist option, it can be a bit difficult to quickly lay down fire. The system's well put together with what seems to be today's standard system for taking cover, and overall it works incredibly well. In some sequences, you can also take hostages and use them as cover, a la Meat Shield, while using a pistol to lay waste to enemies. There are three major different kinds of quests in this game: Cop, Triad, and Face quests. Cop quests usually involve you busting some sort of drug dealer, or enforcing justice to other triad groups, while triad quests usually involve just putting other triad groups back in their place. Face quests, however, just involve doing random favors or quests for people you happen to come by, and raises your recognition amongst the population. By doing these quests, you'll gain experience points in their respective categories, which will allow you to unlock perks, all of which serve to make Wei stronger and more capable. One of the most satisfying bits of the game are the driving portions. Each car handles as appropriately as each car should, roadside shooting works very well, slowing down time appropriately when needed, and action carjackings are just so satisfying. The music available on the in-game radio stations are all very well put together and span a number of different musical genres. And though there are a couple of Western stations here and there, the game takes place in China, so you'll primarily find music that reflects that culture. The city itself, though, is a fun, well-lit playground to drive around in, and is just a blast to explore. The only issue I've had with the driving itself is when controlling the camera. If you just so happen to push the right stick just a bit too far down, you'll get an instantly awkward, obstructed view of the front of your car, which serves no purpose but to break the otherwise great flow of the in-game driving. There are also a number of chase sequences in this game in which the nimble Wei has to parkour and overcome obstacles to chase down whoever he's pursuing. These controls also work great, and unlike past Assassin's Creed games, your character doesn't go into autopilot after running at a wall, and button pressing must be well timed in order to be properly executed, making Wei's incredibly agile feats all the more satisfying. I don't want to spoil too much of the game for you guys because there are a ton of other things that you can do within this game, including other certain mini-games, which, to be honest, don't really add all too much to the experience. But one other enhancement that I absolutely have to mention is how simple it is to toggle between active quests and set waypoints. Traditionally in most sandbox games, you open a menu, select an active quest, and pick where you want to go, and then you go. Not here. Here, just click the left stick to toggle through your active quest and set an appropriate waypoint. You never actually need to open up the map at all, though if you prefer that method, you can still do that way if you choose. What results is a much more fluid system with less time spent on the menus. Also worthy of mention is that while driving from waypoint to waypoint, you don't need to stare at the minimap the whole time to know when to make a turn. Appropriately placed translucent arrows will appear on the road in front of you, letting you know where to go. These two things are very simple features, but make the game that much more immersive, preventing the need to stop action by opening a menu or by looking away from the road. Overall, you can call it a GTA ripoff if you want, but it's a great one at that. Some things GTA does better, but a lot of things Sleeping Dogs does better. The game will give you between 20 to 30 hours of content to play with, and with what is promised to be a good amount of DLC on the way, you can be sure you'll enjoy this trip to Hong Kong. I give Sleeping Dogs an 8.5
Good what?
out of 10.